Did you know that your Tesla app can do way more than just unlock your car, from controlling climate, checking battery health, scheduling charging, and even monitoring Sentry mode? It's basically your Tesla's remote control. In today's video, I'll be breaking down every single feature and section inside the Tesla mobile app, so by the end, you'll know exactly how to get the most out of it. All right, so here we are on the home screen of the mobile application for the Tesla app. So first and foremost, when you open up the application, you'll be presented with your main vehicle. So for example, right now I can see my Model 3 that is currently plugged in. If it was actively charging, you would actually see that cable having a pulse on it indicating that it is charging. And the reason why I say that you can see the main vehicle here is because let's say you have two Teslas or multiple Tesla products in your household that your phone is connected to, well, you can click up here. My current car is called Moneymaker. You can click up there and it'll show you all of the different products. So for example, if I purchased another Tesla, I would click on add product right here. And then I would select either a vehicle, a charging, or an energy Powerwall product, or solar in this case as well. They can all be controlled from the same mobile application. So I'm gonna go back here and take a look at what else we can see. So up here, just below the name of it, we have the current charge of my battery. The state of charge is at 100% because I'm filming here in early afternoon and I haven't used the car yet. From here on the right, we can see messages as well as a tab to open up a menu. So let's click on messages right here. And this is where we're going to see all of the messages relating to your Tesla vehicle and your account in general. So for example, back in June, while I was supercharging, there was a message that came up here saying congestion fees may apply. Essentially, all of the potential messages are going to come in through here, from, referring people to self-driving capabilities and so forth. So we'll go back out of that and click on the menu right here. The menu brings you to everything that's relating to your actual account, not the Tesla in question. So for example, up top, we have my profile, my name, as well as my email address. We can click on that and we can go into my personal info, notifications. That is going to set whether or not you receive notifications for your Tesla, for example, charging and so forth. Let's click on that right here. We can get notifications for the vehicle, for the car alarm, charging started, charging complete, and so forth. So depending on your personal preferences, you can turn these on or off. And remember that you also need to have notifications on your actual phone itself to get these pushed to your phone notifications. Going back out of that, we have our wallet, so you can add your credit cards, and also if you have any Tesla credits, they will appear right here. So I have my 2 credit cards that are used for payments of various things like supercharging, or for example, when I'm purchasing stuff through the app, this is going to be the default ones, or the Tesla credits, depending on if you have those set up as well. Below that, we also have order history. So order history allows us to see, as the name would suggest, everything that we've ordered on the Tesla store. In this case, as you can see, I've ordered a charger, I've ordered a bunch of accessories and so forth. And what's really nice here is you can go way back and see all of the orders in your account, all the way back in this case to 2020 when I purchased a set of snow tires. You can see everything has to do with the order number, the date, as well as the price, quantity, billing address, and so forth. So that's really great as well. Security and privacy is the next section right here. That has to do with data sharing, sign-in management, and security. That's honestly not too important. And then your driver profiles. In this case, it says your Tesla profile saves your preferences for every drive. Your vehicle will automatically adjust to your preferred seating positions, cabin temperatures, media, and so forth. So in this case, this is because my phone is tied to my driver profile in the same way that my wife's phone is attached to her profile in the same vehicle. So when my particular phone approaches the Tesla, it recognizes that it is me and it gets everything in place for my drive. And then finally, we can also sync the calendar with your vehicle. So I have it toggled to on. Essentially what this does is anything that's in your phone's calendar will also sync over to your Tesla's calendar so that you can access that there as well. And that comes with a couple cool features, like, for example, if you have a meeting at a certain building in your city, well, when you come into the car beforehand, it'll automatically have that location set for you. So kind of cool. Since I work from home though, it's not all too useful. Now back out of that and into the menu once again, we have charging as well as products. So let's click on charging to see what that's all about. This shows us the information relating to supercharging. So for example, my last charge was for 4 minutes. It cost me $2.33 here, and it used up this much power. We can click on details to get more information about that. It shows us where it was, how much it cost, as well as even the location, and being able to click on here and seeing the exact invoice for said supercharging session. It is really, really well done and great to be able to keep track of everything. In fact, you can also manage the payment, as I was speaking about earlier, from either the credit cards, or in this case, I have it set to use my Tesla credits automatically when I'm supercharging, because why not? Saves me a bit of money. Below that, we can also see the history. So every single one of my supercharging sessions here is going to be seen. In this case, this was in South Carolina during my trip. Really, really great for tax time if you expense any of these, or just for your own personal use, being able to see all of the money that you've spent on your supercharging. And you can also filter it here by the car, as well as even download all of them by clicking on that button right there. It will export all of this and send it as, I believe, an XL file. Finally, in this charging section here, we also have for your other EV. So in your household, if you have another electric vehicle, say a Polestar or I don't know, a Kia or whatnot, you can also add it to your app here so that you can connect it to a Tesla account and utilize the Tesla supercharging infrastructure. So I don't use that, but if you do have another car, that is where you do it. And then from here, I won't go into all this stuff. It's pretty straightforward. Referral program, the shop itself, and being able to discover products. Now going back to the main section here, the main full menu of the Tesla app, we are presented with a bunch of tabs right here that we will go over one by one. So as we can see here, it sort of just updated knowing that it is currently plugged in. I had it set to 100%, and we can see that the charge limit was reached at 100%, which is why the charging is complete. If you are currently charging your car, whether or not it's supercharging or even on a level 2 charger at home, or even a level 1 charger, those stats will appear right here in the Tesla app. So you'll be able to see how fast it's charging, as well as the kilowatt that it is using, that bandwidth essentially. So in this case, it says we added 8 kilowatts during the last session. All right, moving down, we can also see the release notes for any new updates. So for example, you can click on that and see what those updates are, which is really useful. And now below that is where we really start getting into the meat of this overview of the application. So the first section is controls. All right, clicking on controls, we can open the front, we can unlock and lock the doors, and we can open the trunk. I'm not going to do any of that because my car is currently in the garage and it is unnecessary. In the top right corner, we can click on PSI and see the current PSI rating and tire pressure in each one of those tires. That being said, as you can see right here, 19 hours ago, that is because this updates when you first drive your car again. So as of 19 hours ago, it was at 41 PSI. Which is just below the recommended 42, so that is totally fine. We can also flash the lights, honk from a distance, start the car remotely. For example, if someone wants to get in the car, they don't have a mobile app or a key card, you can click on this right here and have them start the car and take off themselves. And you can also vent the windows by clicking right there. That will bring the windows down by about this much to crack those windows and vent the vehicle. Going back, we also have these icons right here for quick access. Okay, so what these do, this one of course locks and unlocks the vehicle. This one will start defrosting the car. This opens the front driver's side door, and then this vent as well. If you're not happy with those though, by the way, you can long click on these and choose which ones you want from all of these. So you can either open the front, have the light show turn on, Sentry mode, trunk, or whatnot. These are my preferred ones though, so that's why I keep them at that. And you can even, by the way, just long press and then drag and drop to change them. By the way, you can also add a fifth one by bringing it right over there, boom, and it will appear right there. Now you have 5 that appear right there. So super useful little hack. All right, now moving on to the next tab, we have the climate tab, which allows us to control everything that has to do with the climate of the vehicle. Right here, it says that the interior is at 12 degrees. That is currently, and if we click on it, well, it allows us to do quite a few things. First and foremost, we can toggle on and off the steering wheel heat by clicking right there. We can either do it manually or set it to auto, like that. Otherwise, we can also turn on and off the heating of the front seats as well as the rear seats by clicking on it like that to toggle them on and off. And let's say it was summer though, and you wanted to actually vent the front seat, we can do that as well by clicking on cool and having that do it automatically before you get in the car as well. So that is super useful and something that I use all summer and all winter depending on the climate. Now this right here will turn everything on and off. In this case, I'm not leaving it, so I'm just going to turn it all off for the sake of this video right now. And it will show us both the interior as well as the exterior temperature. So like I said, my car is parked in the garage. So right now the ambient temperature is 11 degrees and the interior is currently at 13 degrees. And this right here though allows us to either bring up or down the internal temperature to have it preheat or pre-cool. Let's say I wanted to leave and it's the middle of winter. What I usually do, you turn it on, bring it up to 22 degrees, let's say, and once it does achieve 22 degrees, it will send you a notification to your phone saying, hey, your cabin is at the desired temperature. Now below that, we have a couple other settings. Defrost the car, that is if your car is snowed in and really, really cold. You can just click on that and it will bring everything to maximum in order to defrost it as quickly as possible. So we can do that. We can also set up camp mode and dog mode from here as well. Camp mode, by the way, if you want to check out how I camped in my Model 3, check out the video right here. I'll leave a link down below in the description as well. So you can check how camp mode works and see if you are up for camping in your vehicle. By the way, it is really awesome. You can click on it from here though, as well as dog mode. And finally, below here, we can also activate cabin overheat protection, either on, off, or no AC. In this case, I have it set to on. This basically what it does is if you're in the middle of summer and parked in a really, really hot environment, it will turn on the AC so that the interior cabin doesn't get up to, 50, 60 degrees Celsius, which it absolutely does, especially with the glass roofs. The interiors of the Teslas get really, really hot. Keep in mind though that that will utilize some of your battery while it is idling and keeping things at temperature inside. Now going back here, the next one is going to be location. So it also shows you where your car is currently parked. If we click on that, it will show you on the map as well as the address. And you can do quite a few things from this as well. So we can either toggle between the default view or the satellite view. If we click on this, we can see all the superchargers around us. And clicking right there is going to bring you directly back to your actual address, or well, I should say where the car is currently located. And then clicking on this right there actually brings us to Google Maps as well, if that's something that you want to do. Or sorry, I should say Apple Maps in my case. Now from here, down here, we can also click on navigate if, let's say, we want to check out a route without going in and doing it in the vehicle on the Tesla screen. So let's say I wanted to go to New York City. I'm in my bed and I want to check out how long that'll take. Boom, you can click on New York right there, destination added, and it will create the route for you. For example, right now it's saying that we can make it all the way to Parrish, New York. We'd be at 22% and we get there at 5:09 p.m. Really, really great. If you want to move forward with that, you click on send to car. It sends that to the vehicle, and then when you get into your vehicle, boom, it is ready to go with those directions and with that planned out route. So that is really, really helpful as well. You can even click on leave now or schedule when you want to leave, if it's in a couple of days from now or not, or say, hey, I want to arrive by this time. what time should I leave by, and it will reverse engineer that exact schedule. All right, going out of that, the next thing we have is setting schedules. So this is something I talk about a lot on my channel that every Tesla owner should utilize. You should set a preconditioning and a charging schedule. Okay, so what this does essentially is that preconditioning will bring the battery as well as the interior cabin to temperature by a set time every day, or at least on the days that you want it to. So by clicking on that, we can set a schedule by saying, hey, I want my vehicle to be preconditioned by, say, 7 a.m. Let's say you go into work at 8 a.m. every day and you leave at 7. I want it to be at temperature every single day of the work week. Well, we can click on that right there, repeat weekly, and boom, create that schedule. Now every single day, the vehicle will be preconditioned by that 7 a.m. time. By the way, not everyone knows this. You can set preconditioning schedules for different locations. So for example, this is at my house, but we can set a different location at home, work, or whatnot for preconditioning as well. So that it recognizes, let's say that you're at work temporarily and that, hey, at 3 p.m. I want the car to be preconditioned as well. When I leave work, well, you can do that as well and set different schedules for different locations. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off because I work from home, so that is unnecessary, but we can do the same thing for charging, right? This is really, really useful, especially for people who have tiered utility rates. So let's say it is cheaper to charge from midnight to 3 a.m. Well, you can set a charging schedule so that when it's plugged in, it will only actually start pulling juice and charging up the vehicle during those set hours. Really, really useful, and I would highly recommend that you set that up. You can do it in the app and as well as in the vehicle. All right, moving on here and going out of the schedules tab, we have the next one being security and drivers. So let's click on that right now, and this shows us quite a few things to look over. So starting up top, we can see the dash cam viewer. So going there, it's going to connect to the vehicle and we can see all of the recent clips that we've saved in the dash cam. So for example, Friday, October 14th or 24th, we can click on that and view that in real time directly from the app as well. That person had to swerve because it looked like they were gonna run into us. That is something though that is really, really useful because you're able to see everything directly from your app. And this is connecting to the USB that is connected in your vehicle's glove box, which is why I find it really important to always have space on a USB, because otherwise you're not able to fully utilize dash cam and sentry mode to its fullest potential to protect you in case of an accident or collision. All right, so I'll move back out of there. Now we can turn on sentry mode, valet mode, parental controls, speed limit, and even pin to drive. Pin to drive, essentially every time you go in your car before being able to take off, you have to put in a pin. Definitely not useful for me. If you're in a high crime area though or not, I suppose that could be useful. You just toggle it on, set a pin, and that is it. Speed limit mode, same thing. Let's say you want to limit the speed of your car to like 120 kilometers an hour. Put in your pin here and then you're able to set a top speed. Same thing with parental controls, so you can set things like curfews, top speed and stuff if your teenager is driving your car and you want to have certain parameters that they cannot exceed. Valet mode here, same sort of concept. It will keep the car under a certain speed limit so that they're not able to take the car and go 100 down the freeway. Now from here we can add a driver. So for example, if we want to create a driver's profile and send that over to someone, we can do that. So this will generate an invite to access the vehicle. All right, so we can click create here. And what this does, you're able to send it to someone so they get a code where they can download the app and then drive your car for a set period of time, which is pretty cool. If say you're lending your car to a friend or you're using it on Turo or something, you're renting it out, that is where you would do that in order to allow someone to drive your car. Okay, next up, we can toggle on and off the phone key. I'm not sure why you wouldn't do that. And then we can add a new key card and set up a Bluetooth audio. That kind of is really straightforward. I'm not gonna spend time going through that. The next section is the charging stats. Really, really awesome tab in the app that gives you all of the statistics about your charging, from utilization, how much you've used at home, on superchargers, at work or other, and then how much you've spent relative to your gas saving. So as you can see here, I'm currently on the yearly view, and you can see that most of all my charging is at home. The only reason this one right here had a massive amount of supercharging was because I did a massive road trip from Canada down to Florida and back, where of course I was supercharging a lot. So that's even why I spent $1,000. If I hadn't done that, I probably would have spent more close to like $400 in the entire past year, which is so much less than the gas equivalency. Even here, considering this, it says I've saved about $2,500, which I absolutely believe with gas prices right now. Now you can go month to month to see each single one, how much it cost you. You can see here, based on my energy rate at home, usually costs me about $30 on average to charge up, which is insanely low. Now you might be wondering, how does it calculate this? Well, it's with the cost down here. So supercharger, of course, it's going to just utilize the actual supercharging rates. The cost of electricity at home is something that you set yourself down in the settings. So I have it with residential Hydro-Quebec, which is about 8 cents per kilowatt used. And so that is how it's able to calculate and give you estimates of how much you've spent. And of course, you can go through months as well and go down to the individual day. Right? Like here I spent $1 charging up, $1, $2. It is so cheap to run a Tesla if you're in an area with really low utility rates. And from there, we're pretty much done. From here, we have upgrades that you can go in here. You can buy accessories, buy a service plan or installable upgrades and order them directly here. That will send it then to the Tesla shop. So you can get tint done, you can get the garage door opener, you can buy other tires and things like that. These are things here that will be ordered to a Tesla service center, and then you go and get those installed, right? Tow package, carbon fiber spoiler, stuff like that. Really straightforward though. I'm not going to spend more time on that. The next one though is the service tab. If you're a new Tesla owner, you might not know this, but every single service request is all done and tracked through the app so that you have a record. So when something happens and you need to request service, you come into the service tab here and you click the button right below your car saying request service. So right here, it's going to give you information about all of this, and you can identify where the problem is that you need looking after. For right now though, let's take a look at what this alert is. Seats, front passenger, safety restate system issue, service is required. Okay, that is odd. I will deal with that after. And then maintenance as well, wiper blade replacement. So I actually did do this last week. So this one right here, you can see overdue. It keeps things in line for you, right? So wheel alignment, radiator cleaner, cabin air filter replacement. So you know when things are due as well. So you don't have to go through with this. It's just going to track the estimated timeline left and when you should do it, in order to make sure that your vehicle is all up to spec. Now, from here though, this is where you're actually gonna identify a real issue. Okay, so let's say you have gotten to a collision, all right? You would come into collision and glass, you say, hey, I need collision repair. You're gonna put photos of what's up as well as areas of concern, and you're gonna describe the problem. From there, the Tesla maintenance team is going to assess your request and get back to you with the next steps. It's usually within an hour or so. It's been really quick. Every single time I've needed something, it was quite instant. Now from there, they're going to send you an estimate of how much the repairs will cost. You accept it in the application and then book in a maintenance schedule, an appointment, I should say. You bring the car and it's really straightforward. Additionally, down here on emergency roadside help, you can click on that if let's say you have a flat tire or any of these issues out on the road, and Tesla, depending on if you're in range of a service center, will help you out and send assistance with that. So really, really great app in order to keep track of all of your service requests. Now back in the service tab, we can also see the history of everything. I currently don't have anything with this vehicle, but if I did, it would be right there. Then there's a couple other things, the owner's manual, how service works, right? Basically what I just said, and then battery health as well. This is where you can do a battery health test. I've also made a full video about that. So if you're interested, check it out right here and link down below in the description as well. You can do every 6 months a test of your battery, and it's going to tell you the percentage and whether or not it's healthy or not. Right now, it's just saying it's healthy because it's been over 6 months. When I did it, it was at 98%, but after 6 months, it doesn't tell you a percentage anymore. It says whether or not it's just healthy or not. So I'm assuming if I did the test again, it would probably be somewhere closer to 95, 96%. Okay. Now, going out of there, that's pretty much it. We can see other things relating to the drivers, the specs and warranty down here. It's going to give you all the information about your specific vehicle, as well as the vehicle warranty for your specific vehicle as well. I really hope today's video was helpful. If it was, please make sure to leave it a like and subscribe to the channel. I post every single week here on Saturdays, one Tesla video per week. And if you want to help support my channel as well, check out the links I have down below in this video's description to my Amazon storefront to get some great Amazon accessories for your Teslas. Or if you're picking up a brand new Tesla for yourself, check out my $5 delivery day checklist, link down below as well in the description and pinned comment. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.